Hey guys, welcome back for another video. Today I want to talk about 2026 and the plans that I have cooking. So the last couple years have been all over the place. It have been mood reading, buddy reading, jumping on bandwagons, and just kind of all over the place. It has been fun, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss a little bit of structure, the planning, the list making, the goals. Like that all is very fun for me. And even though I am not known for always sticking with the plans I make, I do miss that aspect of my reading hobby. And I think getting back to making videos has really kind of like reminded me the fun parts of planning for the videos are planning what I'm going to read. So I doubt any of this will be like the law. I don't follow rules. I do what I want. But I love a list. I love a plan. So I feel really excited about the stuff that I have planned for 2026. So check it out. And if any of it is also on your radar, please reach out because I do love a buddy read, or at least knowing that like someone else is reading this book. So when I'm done, we're going to chat. I like the conversation. I like the interaction. So let me know if any of this is on your plans and maybe we can link up. All right, so first up, let's go over this stack of books I have right here. And this is representing series that are not new to me. And I'm either just going to continue them because I didn't get them wrapped up before the end of the year, or I'm going to resume them because for one reason or another, I just kind of paused for a while and I got to get back to them. I am a completionist. And I'm not afraid to walk away from something if I do not like it. In fact, I did DNF a couple of series this year, and I have no regrets over that. But sometimes I just need a break, but my mind won't let me completely walk away from it because A, I want to read it, and B, if I don't dislike it, I want to finish it. Like I'm just a completionist. So let me show you some stuff I have cooking that I need to wrap up. So first of all, in 2025, I started a Wheel of Time reread, and it was a very fun experience. Wheel of Time is something that it's not for everybody. It is for me. I absolutely loved my first experience through the Wheel of Time, and as I was reading it, I knew I will come back. I will revisit the series. I will reread it multiple times in my life. I had a great time. And I'm almost finished. So we got through it. I did it with my friend Brent, and we were not sticking to a strict like 1 a month schedule because I'm finding that to be a little bit restrictive for me. And we really just wanted to follow our mood so that these books, especially some of the middle ones that are known to drag, so that those books and just the obligation of reading something we've already read wouldn't drag us down. So it was very casual, very leisurely, and very fun. And we took a little break because 2025, the end of 2025, has been packed with really highly anticipated new releases. So we're like, let's just take Wheel of Time off the table for a couple of months and get back to it in 2026. So in 2026, one of my priorities is going to be to complete my Wheel of Time reread. We had the last 3 books left, and they are so good based on my memory. Just the culmination of, first of all, this huge story that we've been following for so many big books, kind of like reaching the climax and then having this big giant ending. And also it's just interesting to watch all of Robert Jordan's notes and his visions and his the world he built, the story he built, to be picked up and continued by Brandon Sanderson. You get the meshing of their two writing styles and just the creativity of these two awesome guys like finally coming together and creating 3 awesome books. So they were 5 stars for me the first time I read them, these last 3 books, and I do anticipate to enjoy them just as much or more the second time around. I love a reread. I love the new perspective you get, and it definitely has delivered with The Wheel of Time. A series I have been reading for a very long time now has been The Last Kingdom by Bernard Cornwell. I love Cornwell. My favorite trilogy, maybe of all time. That's a new video that's going to be coming out soon. Trilogies. I love a trilogy. But my favorite thing that he has written, and one of my favorite trilogies ever, is the Warlord Chronicles. And as soon as I read that, I was like, whatever this guy does, I'm going to like it. I can just tell. So when I became an instant super fan, I bought a bunch of his books, and I've been working my way through The Last Kingdom. And what's nice about these books is it is one overarching story. You're following the character of Uhtred, and you're following him on his quest to reclaim his ancestral home. But each book is relatively episodic, and they're not very long, and I wouldn't call them like throwaway reads because they are very, very good. But it's just nice because I can just pick one up when I feel in the mood for some historical fiction. I want to go on a little adventure with Uhtred. I just pick them up kind of every now and then. Well, I'm ending the series. I've got 4 books left. I believe there are 12 of them, and I have 9, 10, 11, and 12 to read. That's right. So I would love to wrap up The Last Kingdom this year so that I can move on to some more Bernard Cornwell. I have 3 other series of his, and one is the Sharp series, which is like 17 books or something. I have them all on my shelves. I actually think I own more Bernard Cornwell books than any other author, and I've only read like a fraction of it. So I really want to finish The Last Kingdom, first of all, just to finish it because it's good and I enjoy it and I want to see how it's all wrapped up, but also because I'm interested to move on to more Bernard Cornwell. All right, this one is a bit different. I'm going to start over and reread Empire of the Vampire so that I can continue and catch up with this series. So the year that this came out, what was this, 2021 maybe? Doesn't matter. The year this came out, this was either my book of the year or top 3. I loved Empire of the Vampire. I was very, very excited for Empire of the Damned. Well, when Empire of the Damned came out, I was not reading very much. And what I was reading, I don't know, it just wasn't so dense. It wasn't so heavy. I can't remember if it came out when my mom was sick or when my grandma was sick, but either way, it was a time of my life that I was like, I cannot take on a book like that. And so it just kind of kept getting pushed off. I was like, I'll read it next month when things calm down. You know, I'll read that in January. I'll read that in the summer. And I just kept pushing it off. And then by the time I actually was ready for it, I felt like I was so far removed from this book that I didn't remember enough and I just wasn't in the right like mindset for it. And so now we have the 3rd book out. What's that one called? It doesn't matter. And I'm just like, I feel so disconnected, but I know that I loved it. So my plan is to reread Empire of the Vampire and then probably one a month or something like that, complete the trilogy because I'm still excited about it. I know I'm going to like it, but I've just been so far removed that I don't feel like I could do the story justice if I just picked up book 2 and just moved on. So I am going to start this over, but this is going to be the year that I read all of these J. Kristoff Empire of the Vampire books. So last one in this category, I don't have too many things that are unfinished, which is kind of nice, honestly. But this guy right here is the last book from the Saga of the Forgotten Warrior series that I read. And I believe 2 more have come out since then. But I got behind because the audio was delayed. And you know me, I do love my audiobooks. Plus, these are narrated by one of my favorite narrators, Tim Gerard Reynolds. So I thought I really, really, really want to wait for the audio because I just enjoy that experience so much. So because of delayed audio, I got behind and then I was behind. So I got more behind and now it's been way too long since I've read one of these books and I'm very excited to get back. Again, I've mentioned it several times in past videos, but this is an underhyped series that is so good and I wish more people would pick it up. The first book is called, hold please. The first book is called The Son of the Black Sword, and it is the Saga of the Forgotten Warrior series. You should pick it up. It's unique, it's cool, it's fun to read, and it's just a really cool series that I wish more people would read so we could chat about it. So I need to catch up on this, and I'm very excited to get back to it. All right, guys, let's get to the new stuff now. Starting a new series is always exciting for me because I don't know. I typically love book 1s. I love beginnings. I love meeting new friends. I love traveling to new lands. But more than anything, it's that concept that every book I pick up and read for the first time has the potential of becoming my new favorite book. And that's just so exciting for me because you really only get a few experiences like that in a lifetime. You know, a handful of experiences where you read a series or you read a book and you're like, this is it. My life has changed. This is a new favorite. I am obsessed. I chase that feeling. So starting something new is so exciting for me. So this stack right here does have me excited because I feel like there's some potential for some new all-time favorites. I was recently chatting with some friends about auto-buy authors. And that means an author that if they write it, I'm going to buy it. If they've written it, I've read it. And it's shocking to me that I can't honestly claim Robin Hobb in that category because, like, I am a Realm of the Elderlings super fan. So how have I not read Soldier Son? This is a trilogy she has written that, I'll be honest, it kind of has a mixed reception amongst her friends. We are her friends, but her fans. Some people love it, and a lot of people kind of don't. And I have no idea where I'm going to fall in that category, but I am excited to give it a fair shot. And I don't know, I kind of feel a little nervous about this one. If I love it, I'm going to commit to the whole thing. But I'm trying to tell myself that if I'm not crazy about it, I'm not going to make myself finish it just because it's her. I love her so much. But, you know, we'll see how this goes, but I am planning on reading this. I'm pretty close to the beginning of the year because I just kind of, I'm hankering for some Robin Hobb, but I'm also trying to not do so many rereads in 2026. I did a lot of rereads in 2025. I regret none of them. It was very, very fun. But I'm trying to take in some new material, so I'm really hoping that this will scratch my Robin Hobb itch without necessarily tiptoeing back into that reread territory. Another series I'm pretty excited to start is the Coldfire series by C.S. Friedman. First of all, let's take a moment to really appreciate these covers. I have them all right here. I'm just going to show them to you. This is some really classic, creepy, awesome Michael Whelan art. And they're just darn good covers. So I've had these on my shelf for quite a while. And I'm going to be honest, I do not know very much about them. I think it is like a blend of fantasy and sci-fi, which I love. But honestly, I don't know much about them, and I am excited to go into them blind. So I'm planning on reading this trilogy. I've heard good things, but honestly, it's not a series that people talk a lot about in my circle. So I'm going in kind of blind, very excited to finally knock this pretty sexy little trilogy off my list. I mentioned in my last video that I have become a Tad Williams super fan. The transition from Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn to The Last King of Ostenar, those two series together have made me a true believer, and I don't believe that Tad Williams can disappoint me. So I hope I'm not going to set myself up for disappointment, because those are some very high expectations I have. But I am planning to read this Shadowmarch series in 2026. Again, I don't know when I'm going to start it, but probably pretty soon, because I would say that this is one of my most anticipated series to start in 2026. So I imagine this will probably be a January read for me because I'm really excited for some more Tad Williams. Also, more Michael Whelan art. As of today, I am about to finish up the final book in the Sun Eater series, and it has been an amazing experience and just something I've enjoyed for many years now. And part of my enjoyment of the whole process has been the audiobook narrator, Samuel Raukin, just an absolutely brilliant audiobook narrator. He takes the story and just really brings it to life, and I've enjoyed it so much. So as I was kind of winding down and going, man, I'm going to miss the series, I'm going to miss the books, but I'm also going to miss the narrator, I went on Audible and I was like, what else has Samuel Raukin narrated? And it turns out he has narrated the Elric books. And I just so happen to have volume 1 and volume 2 of these Elric of Melniboné. Is that how you say that? I've had these on my shelf for a long time, and I'm not always in the mood for some sword and sorcery fantasy, which I believe this is, but I do enjoy it. So I am going to dabble with these this year and kind of see if Elric is for me. I don't know much about it other than I have used the Moorcock joke one too many times, and at this point I probably owe him I should read the book. I've made the jokes. I should show some respect and actually read the books. But between the reputation these have of being really good and the narration and already owning them, I'm like, why haven't I read these yet? So I have my audiobooks queued up. I have these beautiful omnibus collections on my shelf, and I'm excited to try them. All right, now let's talk about a couple of things that I don't actually own physical copies of. So I'm going to try to put them up here in the corner. We'll see if I manage to do that or not. But here are some books that I am excited to read, but I don't own yet. So I probably will be doing some shopping. The first one is The Curse of Chalion. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'll have to read it or, listen to the audiobook to hear how they say that, but Chalion. It's by Lois McMaster Bujold, and I have heard nothing but good stuff about this first book. And from what I can tell, I've talked to one friend who has read it and then kind of picked up bits and pieces from some other reviews I've read, but it sounds like they're relatively episodic and can kind of stand on their own. So I'm definitely committing to book one, but I'm hoping that this will become a new fan favorite, fan being me, so that I can have a go-to series to just kind of pick up and read when I'm in the mood for them. But I'm really excited for this one. And like so many others on this list, I don't really know what it's about, but everyone tells me that it's slow burn, beautiful writing, character driven, and I'm like, whoop, that's enough for me. I'm sold. So I'm very excited to get to that one. I mentioned earlier that I am wrapping up Sun Eater, so that means I need a new science fiction epic to kind of take its spot, so to say. I don't read nearly as much science fiction as I do fantasy, but I like to have one active series going at any given time. So I've decided to read some Peter F. Hamilton. So I have Pandora's Star and Judas Unchained on my plans. Not sure when I will start it, but I have both of those queued up on audio and ready to go. I'm pretty excited for them because I've heard really, really good things about that duology. I've heard it's character driven. I like the fact that it's a duology, so I'm not necessarily signing myself up for, 10 books or 5 books even. It's a duology, and that way I'll kind of know whether or not I'm really into his writing style and the way he structures his sci-fi and writes his characters and stuff. So I'm really excited to get going with that. I have a lot of friends that read and enjoy Peter F. Hamilton, and I'm just kind of a sci-fi novice still, so I am excited to try a brand new author. Okay, so this last one, it may seem a little out of pocket for me. Maybe not. But I'm going to try Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. So last year I did read the first 3 books from ACOTAR. It's not for me, okay? But the first book was really not for me. I am not one to rain on anyone's parade, but it was one of the worst written books I've ever read. But all the fans were going, no, it's okay. You've got to read books 2 and 3 because it gets much better. You know what? They were right. Books 2 and 3 were much better than the first book. Still not really my cup of tea, but I enjoyed them so much more. So I was talking to a friend who we read so many of the same things. She has great taste, and she's also an ACOTAR fan. And she said, okay, here's the thing. If you liked books 2 and 3 better than book 1, I think you may like Throne of Glass. You may be more of a Throne of Glass girl than an ACOTAR girl. So let's try it. So I'm going to try Throne of Glass, and I'm committing to at least the first couple of books because I understand that sometimes a series of that size, it needs a couple books to really get its momentum. And I am totally on board with being well, I'll give it a couple books and we'll see what I think. So yeah, I'm going to try some Throne of Glass this year. So those are the series that I have planned for 2026. As far as standalones go and other things I'm kind of hoping or planning to read, I'll be honest, I was recently scrolling through my Audible library and looking at all the books I own physically, and I thought, my gosh, I have so many things that I haven't read or started reading that I really, really want to read. I bought these for a reason, right? So I'm not saying I'm on any type of a book buying ban or anything like that, but I would love to shop my shelves and just kind of let my Audible library and my Libby holds be my guide for things that are beyond the series that I have planned here in this video. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Let me know if you guys have anything you really want me to read with you, or you think I just gotta try this year. But these are the series that I really want to at least sample, but honestly, I feel pretty confident that I'm going to like them. And I'm just really excited to start some new series in 2026. December is going to be fun. I'm going to wrap a couple things up, but my kids are going to be home basically for 3 weeks straight. I know I'm not going to get a lot read. So I'm going to tie up some loose ends in December. But really, I just got my mind and my heart set on January because I'm so excited to start these. So hopefully I don't start a bunch of book ones in January because that gets a little overwhelming for me. And then I feel kind of obligated to do like one a month. That gets a little overwhelming for me. So I'm going to try to be chill and be relaxed about it. But also, I don't want to get so distracted and willy-nilly that I abandon my list because I wrote these down and stacked them up for a reason. I really am excited about these series. So let me know if you have any of these on your radar as well. Reach out, let's chit chat, and I can't wait to start some new adventures.